Ladies and gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, we are back with Wayfarers live coming at you, episode 18, season number 2. And you might be like, where have y'all been? We were stuck in a dungeon, in a time portal, but we're back. And I wanted to give you a quick recap of what's been going on. The team is trying to help a world that has gone to shit. An evil lich rules over the land, and many different factions do his evil work. The team is working together with the druids to try and cleanse the land and make the plants happy again. And they've had to go into an ancient centaur city, fix a puzzle, put it all together, dodge a snake, and then climb their way down into the dungeon. But as they were climbing down the rope, and Call was going down as well, he was attacked by some mysterious entity. Find out what it is on this episode of Wayfarers.
Hooray! We made it. We're back. It has been a little bit since our last episode, but happy to be back here once again with some of my favorite people, and certainly at least a couple of my favorite Dungeons & Dragons players. Jimothy did just such a wonderful job introing us once again, but there is a few things I think I can add to. So you all went to the ruins of a centaur city, that is correct. Your goal is to sneak in to the sort of encampment that is protecting this this mighty sort of artifact called the World Tree. Currently it is being besieged by plagues and hordes of undead and sort of these rotty, kind of necrotic creatures. Let's just put it that way. You guys aren't even quite sure what they're composed of, but it's sort of the land of rot is where you guys are, and they're currently being attacked. No way to make it through, and you're traveling with this caravan, if you recall. And Lord Truehorn said, here, give this twig of the World Tree to one of his captains inside the settlement, but you can't make it through. You have to take this secret passage. He kind of forgot to tell you how to get in there, but you guys, through your wit, figured it out. You had to move these certain statues in such a way to unlock a secret passage. And now you guys have been descending your way down into the tunnel, but Call, the last one to go down, climbing on the wall like a spider bird, was thwacked by something. We don't know what quite yet. Any questions before we get started? I think we just dive right into this one. We got Pig streaming on his subathon over on his channel. We got Neuro streaming on his channel. As always, Ash and I are just chilling.
It's good to get back in it, you know, and to set the pace. I'm always very detail oriented as a D&D player.
Please.
So a quick question of clarification: how moist and/or dry is the chasm that Carl was climbing down into?
It is at least, I mean, if I had to go humidity percentage wise, we're talking like a solid 70%, 75% humidity down. It's a moist dungeon, dude. It's a bit of a crevasse. It's a bit sticky.
Whoa.
Yeah. Sticky, bit icky.
Bit sticky, bit icky down there. Yeah. Bit musty. Smells
Even
a bit.
after the fourth person has climbed down it.
Smells a bit dank, dude. It's been a while.
It has. Do you think we remember how to fight after all this time?
That remains to be seen. Call, we're going to start this one off with you, my friend. You, at the end of the last episode, and I rewatched it to make sure, failed your perception check. Go ahead and give me a reflex save and let me know what you get.
You sure I failed it? I didn't critically
I
succeed?
am positive. I remember.
Okay, I roll a what save?
Reflex. So...
Dexterity save.
Dexterity, yep.
All right.
In my head, it's like a steel trap of the 3.5 saves that used to exist.
13 plus 3 is 16 dexterity save.
16 dexterity save. Where are my dice? Oh my god, it's been so long. I don't know where my dice are. We're full of
Token, give
technical
them back.
issues. Token took my dice somewhere. Oh, Jesus. Or Mrs. Goblin cleaned my cave area here, and I don't know where anything is, so that's okay.
Don't tell us about your sexual exploits.
Listen, I'll say whatever. I'll tell you if I want to, and you're gonna have to listen to them. No respect.
He's just
None at all.
liberated. It's a part of goblin culture.
That's true. That's very true.
They're not ashamed of things like that.
Call, what'd you roll again?
A 16 total.
All right, give me a strength check, please.
Okay, strong bird. I don't think I'm raging.
No.
It's a strength save or a strength check?
Strength save. Yeah, so it'd be a save.
All right. I have a +6 to my strength saving.
You're pretty strong, man.
5 plus 6 is 11.
Okay, not as strong right now, unfortunately, as a tail comes from sort of to the left side of you, hits you square in the back,
Ouch.
dealing a total of 11 points of damage, and you are knocked off the side of the wall. You are about halfway down, if I'm not mistaken. So I believe you fall about 20 feet or so, which is going to be an additional 11 points of damage as you land on the ground with a crunch and a thud. Give me just a straight up D20 roll.
Jeez Louise. Straight up D20. 10.
10. Let me take a look at something real quick.
Oof.
Bum 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 bum.
Bub-bub-bub-bub-bub-bub.
All right. Oh, this is actually such a travesty. The 10th item in your inventory is the erotic wood carving, which you land on and snap in half.
No!
That is the crunch
No!
you hear as you hit the ground. The erotic wood carving is splintered and shattered. Its old frame unable to take the years of abuse, and now, finally, rest in peace.
What will I do now?
I don't know.
Beat off to memory, I guess.
Probably just end the campaign here, to be honest with you.
I don't know that we can come back from
Start
this
it
loss.
up. Start up a new one, guys. It's over.
I can't even
Can
see
somebody
the
play
game.
taps?
Bub-bub-bub, bub-bub-bub.
Go ahead, everybody. Now give me an initiative roll and let me know
One quick
what you get.
question.
Yes.
As a bonus action, can I be sad?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. I'll even give it to you as a free action, to be honest.
Free action, I
Yeah.
would like to be sad
Yep.
for this turn.
You're sad for the remainder of the session.
All right. 18 plus 3 is 21.
I've got
Wow.
a 14.
All right, Mendax, you're on a 14. Nigel, what did we roll for the initiative?
Sorry.
No worries, no
Correction
worries.
myself. 10 plus initiative is still getting everything open.
Yeah, no worries. I can look it up too if you are still
Yes,
working on some
please.
video stuff. Yeah, I got you, man. 10 plus your initiative is 2, so you got a 12. Boom. All right. Call, enraged rather grief-stricken, I should say, by this loss of such a critical artifact. You are the first to act. You look up to where you are climbing and are unable to discern any sort of shapes or significant detail. All you see is the wall, essentially.
Which one of you motherfuckers busted up my artwork? And I'm back to look around grumpily.
Okay, give me a perception check.
All right. Perceptive bird.
The fuck are my dice, though? What the hell?
6 plus 5 is 11.
Oh, I found him. 6 plus 5 is 11. Da-da-da-da. You see 2 giant subterranean lizards clinging to the wall. You can barely make out sort of the outline as you peer through the darkness. And you see that they're kind of slightly burrowed into the stone of the wall. From what you can see, their eyes are just sort of a pure black. They don't have any pupils or anything. It looks like they're specifically like very good at camouflage. That's kind of their whole thing. They are the same color as the wall, and it's very, very difficult to see them. If you feel like if you look away from them, you may have difficulty finding them again. So keep that as a word of warning. You point them out to your team. Ash and Nigel, make a perception check with advantage now that Call has sort of pointed them out to you.
Look!
And Ribbons will do the same.
Thank goodness I'm so good at seeing things.
You're very good at seeing things. You're one of the best seers there are.
I rolled
Stupid
two
lizards.
ones.
You rolled
What the hell,
two
mate?
ones?
2 1s.
All right. You certainly don't see them. How you want to play that is totally up to you. You have the general area that Call pointed to
Up there!
to go off of.
Look!
Oh, yes, I definitely see them. I say while staring in that general direction.
You're convinced he fell and is just blaming something that's not actually there. You're not confident there's anything to... You're not really confident there's anything to fight at
He's
this
not
point.
really confident.
Yeah, you're not... The confidence meter is not there. Mendax, how about you? What did you roll?
I got an 18 this time.
In 18, you do see them. You can see this again, sort of just very slight, sort of like break in the sheer wall where you can see this outline, these two outlines of these large lizards that are sort of halfway embedded in the wall. Yeah, you see them.
Are you blind, Nigel? They're right there.
He says he sees them. So unless you don't believe him, I mean that's up
Yeah,
to you.
thought
I
he said he
see
didn't
them.
see 'em.
Lizards, big lizards. Yeah, I see them. Look like they're dangerous. Maybe. Or
They
could-
broke
maybe
my
not.
artwork.
Your artwork broke. Which artwork?
The best one, you know. And I would like
Oh.
to wink slyly at Nigel. That one.
Oh, what the hell?
I know.
All right.
It was a targeted attack. They must be assassins.
I pause for a moment, and I'm going to shoot a fireball. Wait, how enclosed is this space?
The whole room itself is... Let me give you an accurate read here. Oh, of course I closed it. We'll say it's about 45 feet in diameter. It's a kind of a circular room. You can see one sort of slight opening in the wall to
this
one of
is-
the sides.
This is not me hacking the system in any way, DM. But it's simply, have you ever tried to take a Playboy from a 13-year-old? It's a difficult
I've not.
task, and that's what's just happened. That's
Okay.
I'm angry, and I'm shooting a fireball blindly at the general area because I'm pissed off.
Okay.
Wood carving was very valuable.
Yeah, absolutely. You do so. Remind me what the area of effect of a fireball is.
Effing huge. Let me check.
Large enough to hit you and everyone else?
I think it's a 20-foot
Radius or diameter?
radius.
Okay, that is for sure going to hit you guys as well. I will let you determine that if you would like to. In fact, well, let's see. You and Mendax... No, that's not true. You, Mendax, and Ribbons would be out of range. Call certainly would not be. You guys descended down sort of the middle of the room, and we're inspecting the statue. There's this large statue of one of the centaurs, similar to the ones that you saw up there, sort of decrepit and ruined. You guys were looking at that. You won't get hit. Call will get hit. I just give you information. What you do with it, that's up to you.
So how far from me is this this like general vicinity? Because I don't know exactly where it is. I'm kind of just rage spewing some sort of magic. in that
He
direction.
pointed up on the wall about 15 feet up, 15, 20 feet up or so. This is the general area.
Look!
But you know for sure a fireball would encase essentially the whole half of that wall. Fireball would
Yeah, I'm gonna shoot a fireball at it because I don't
Okay.
stop to think because I'm so incensed by the risk
Alright.
of losing something that was so dear to me.
Okay. You fire a fireball. Give me some damage. A small, sort of almost bead of pure hot red energy forms at the tip of your wand, Nigel, and explodes outwards into a fiery ball of wrath.
Okay, that's a 8d6, is it? Oh my.
It's a lot.
Freaking wild. Jesus. Oh
The
my.
Death of Call, episode 18. Remember this, ladies and gentlemen.
Porn will be the end of you.
Oh no.
Write these down as I roll them. That's a 6, that's a 3, that's 5, that's a 1, that's a 4, that's a 1, 8, wasn't it? 6, 7 of them, one more, and a 1. Okay.
I can't get over this.
Does anyone smell chicken?
12, 13, 18, 27 damage.
It's a fucking air fried call.
Okay, 27 damage. Do they get a reflex save or anything? Or, sorry, a dexterity save or anything? I don't remember how it works.
Yeah, it's a dex saving throw to half the damage.
Okay, what's the saving throw they need on your character? I can also see here.
My
At
dex
the top
saving
of your
throw
spells, it
should
should
be
be 14. Okay, let's see. Call, you get to roll this as well. So you can make a dexterity saving throw. The number you're trying to beat is 14. If you do hit 14, you take half damage.
I have advantage
Yes.
on dexterity saving throws that I can see while not blinded, deafened, or incapacitated.
Dexterity saving throws that you can see.
Yes, due to my amazing
What is that?
danger sense.
Let me see here.
He
Danger
probably
sense.
turned around and looked when Nigel made
Against
an
effects
exclamation
that
of
you can
rage
see.
and sexual impotency.
Yeah, I would give you that for sure. You can see a fireball whirling past you as it slimes into the side of the wall. Sure, yeah. So advantage to that for
14?
sure. 14 is what you're trying to beat. Yes,
All right,
sir.
All right, first roll is up.
Come on, Carl.
13
Wow.
plus 3 is 16. Let's go. But roll again just in case. Okay, that was worse.
Okay. So call you, sensing the fuming rage of a wizard behind you. Get your spidey, your call senses tingling, and you dodge out of the way. You only take half damage, which is going to be 13 points of damage. Did you rage last turn? You didn't, I don't think. It actually doesn't matter because it's magical, so it doesn't apply. So, 13 points of damage to you. And the lizards, with very speedy reactions, burrow themselves further into the wall, kind of blunting the damage they take as well. Both of them rolled just above what they needed, so they both they still take the damage. Now the actually, sorry, before I continue, Nigel, roll me a d20.
D20.
Mm-hmm.
15.
Okay, there are other factors to consider here. As you are in a cave, a ruined system. It's not a structure, and even structures are susceptible to the destructive nature of fireballs. So certainly caves would be as well. As stone and sort of dirt begins to kind of scatter away from the force of this fireball, you destabilize that section of the cave. Call, give me another dexterity save as sort of rubble and rock and stone and dirt starts sliding down at you and falling from the sky.
Can I see this in a way that I have advantage with the danger sense?
Yeah, you would see it.
Okay.
I don't have any problems with that.
8 plus 3 is 11. First roll. That one it fell off. Okay, that was the best. 8 plus 3 is
8
11.
plus 3, 11. Unfortunately, still reeling from the impact of the fireball itself, you're unable to dodge fully out of the way, and you are covered by this rubble and dirt and stone, none of it large enough to damage you, but it will incapacitate you for up to the next 2 turns, depending on how good your strength rolls are to sort of unbury yourself.
Oh, jeez.
At the same time, Nigel, the only other opening in the room besides the large sort of entrance at the top is now covered under piles of dirt and rubble and stone. But the good news is the lizards are no longer really burrowed into the dirt. You can see them clearly now until they, spend time to maybe move themselves back in. But at least for now, they're uncovered by any of that rock and dirt. So a lot of things Fireball can do. A lot of stuff happening here. And consequences. Call, it is your turn. You're currently encased in rock and stone, buried alive, if you will. Otherwise unwounded by the dirt, but quite still in a lot of pain from the fire and from the fall. Go ahead and give me a strength check. Give me a strength save, I should say. Let me know what you get.
Saving throw. Get +6 on this.
Yeah.
Very strong bird. 11 + 6 is 17. Whoop.
Okay, that is quite strong. But earth is very heavy and very hard to move when you're underneath it. So you spend your turn sort of trying to push rubble to the side and claw dirt away. You're still not free from the earth, unfortunately. So that will be your turn. Mendax, it is now your turn. You see, again, there's 2 giant lizards on the wall. You see the only way forward now blocked, and Call now buried underneath a pile of earth. What would you like to do?
I think I'm going to shoot my my short bow at one of the lizards.
All right, go ahead and make a to hit roll. No disadvantages, as again they are completely visible at this point.
18 + 6.
Yeah, that will hit for sure. Absolutely. Give me some damage.
1d6.
No sneak attack damage. They are very aware of where you are. And there's nobody flanking them or providing advantage to that, so.
Right. 3 + 3 is 6 points of damage.
6 points of damage as you embed an arrow in sort of one of the back legs of the lizard. It sort of scampers and you hear this really high-pitched kind of screech for a moment as it yelps out in pain, but it looks otherwise undeterred as it now looks to you and to Nigel. Speaking of, it is their turn. They both jump down from the side of the wall. And against Nigel, one of them is going to try and bite and then eat you. And against Mendax, the other one is going to try and bite you and thwack you with its tail. So let's do Nigel first.
Wait,
here.
why is it trying to eat me?
It's because it wants to hit you. I don't know.
What is so unappetizing about me?
You know.
You got warned. No.
They don't know that. They can't smell it.
Nigel, give me, what's your AC again?
That I look tasty. Armor class 12.
Alrighty, it is gonna go for a hit against you. Which it will woefully miss. It is not able to bite you as it runs down, losing its footing on now the sort of unstable ground from your fireball. But it will try and lurch out once again. Oh no, it actually can't do that. It's going to try and hit you with its tail instead, because it has to bite you first in order to try to eat you. So it's going to wheel around using its momentum from its missed bite to try and hit into you with its tail. It will miss once again. Nigel, apparently too quick for these lizards, unable to make it. But let's see if if I have any better luck against Mendax. What's your AC?
I am 15.
All right, it's going to start with a bite, and we'll see what happens from there.
I melodramatically jumped over the tail as well when it came, by the way, and said,
Okay.
You can't touch this.
I see. Good. I'm glad that's what you said and did. The bite once again misses. These lizards are kind of sucking now, unfortunately, but it's going to try and hit you with its tail, which it will hit that time.
But I can see it, so I use Uncanny Dodge to halve the damage.
I use Uncanny Dodge to have the damage.
Is there an echo? Can you guys hear my mic twice?
Total damage would be 15. You half it, so it will be 7. And give me a strength saving throw.
Balls. No, very stronger. Let's. No, God damn it! +0. Very, very strong 8.
Very strong 8. Unfortunately, the tail is a little bit stronger, and you are knocked off balance and knocked prone, as you are now thrown to the ground by the force of the impact from the tail. Mind you, this tail was enough to knock down Call, so they are quite strong. You don't feel too bad, but you do feel like you should be better than Call, because you're better than everybody. But it wounds your pride a little bit. Just
I am a bit. I'm like, my pride was already wounded that he didn't try to eat me.
It did. Oh, yeah, I actually misread. It has to bite you first. So I will tell you, if it succeeded in the bite, it would absolutely have tried to eat you.
Okay, good.
So
Well,
that is my mistake,
feel
and
a
I
bit better
apologize.
now.
I apologize. That's me. That's not the lizards. I'll try to be a better person next time.
No, fuck those lizards forever.
Okay. Nigel, it's your turn. You expertly dodged out of the way as you tapped into the Matrix for just a moment. What would you like to do? You are staring down the teeth and gums of a giant lizard.
Foul creature. Yeah.
The one that only you've hit with the fireball. We'll say the one that Mendak shot went after her. I didn't specify that, but
How much damage did she do with that shot, by the way? I missed.
I believe 6 total, because she didn't have sneak attack. So sneak attack is that's the big force multiplier for the rogue. If they don't have it, they're pretty sad.
You know, I don't get to use this very often, so I'm going to use it. I think. Even though, because it's right.
Fireball
in front of me,
again!
I am a wizard of many tricks. Definitely don't spam firebolt or fireball repeatedly. No.
Oh, wait, hold on. I'm so sorry. You know what? And I think you will thank me for this interruption, because we forgot the most important party member. Ribbons is still in the back. He's chilling.
Oh.
He might be good to do something if you guys want him to go. Or I
Rear
can...
with gear.
In the rear with the gear.
I wouldn't be sad to get healed. We got some Kenku Parmesan happening over here.
Mendax, you took a little bit of damage. Ribbons saw that. He currently can't reach you, Call. So he is going to hobble over to
Buddy.
Mendax.
What a pal.
And he is going to... What is he going to do? I don't know, Ribbons. What do you want to do, buddy? He is going to... There's a specific ability I'm looking for that would probably help more than other ones. He's going to cast Fairy Fire. That's what he's going to do. So he sort of shakes his barbed wire little idol that he has. It's in the shape of like a humanoid kind of person. And this purplish green, actually just purplish sort of sparkly light starts to sort of shake out from it and fill the room with this dust. And it sticks to the lizards, illuminating them so you can see them very, very clearly now. And for the duration, they shed a dim light, so they won't be able to run away from you guys. And any attack roll against them, you have advantage on. So there you go. So now the lizards are unable to use their burrow tricks to get away from you. And you guys have advantage on your attacks, which is really good for Mendax, because that gives you your sneak attack back.
Yeah!
All right,
Also good for
Nigel.
me because I'm getting revenge.
That's good.
So that was
Nigel,
Fairy Fire,
sorry
right?
to interrupt. Yeah, Fairy Fire, that's the one.
And he hit both of the lizards, yeah?
Yep, it's just 20-foot radius around him.
Oh,
There's
nice.
This purple sort of dust that fills the air and clings to creatures he wants to.
And it's just like it's a one-off. It's not like it stays around him and anyone coming into the 20-foot radius next turn gets hit by it, right?
It is concentration, so it lasts up to a minute.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yep, lasts
Awesome.
up to a minute. Wait, hold on. Do I get to choose? Each Okay, actually everyone is outlined with this purple dust. Okay, I kind of misread that. So everybody is seen and is emitting this like very light purple light. So everyone's getting advantage to attack rolls against everybody.
Oh, so the enemy get it as well.
They do, unfortunately.
Wait, don't we get to roll a dex saving throw?
Oh my god, are you reading more spells than I am? Holy shit, I think he
Nigel
might
has
be.
ascended.
It's the hat.
Oh, he is. Okay, but that does mean I get to roll for the lizards. So
That means you get to roll for the lizards as well.
It could just be bad. Let's see. So everyone, yes, except for Call. You're buried underneath the earth, so this doesn't affect you. You are looking to beat a dex saving throw of 15.
Nope.
Which one of my lizards does beat.
I got 12. I'm purple.
All right, you're purple. How about you, Mendax?
Oh shit! I got a 15.
Okay, so you beat it. You are not illuminated. The lizard that is affected by the fairy fire is the one that you're fighting, Mendax. The one that is not affected by it is the one that you are fighting, Nigel. Now that we've got that taken care of, thank you for keeping me honest, Nigel. I appreciate that. It is back to you.
I'm always curious about these cleric and bloody weird spells because it's so different. I just shoot fire at stuff. Or in this case, I think lizards might not be the best target for this, but I don't care. I never get to use it. And something's actually in my face for once. Normally I'm cowering in the back, and for once I get to bloody do some stuff. So I am going to poison spray all over this thing. Basically, I extend my hand, or in this case my wand, and I go, and I shoot out a big zergy kind of green noxious cloud of poo-poo gas.
Okay.
Constitution saving throw.
Alrighty. What am I trying to hit? 14?
I guess it's just my normal. Oh yeah, 14. Yeah.
Got it. Okay. And it would fail. It doesn't succeed. What happens?
Woohoo! 2d12 damage. So
okay. Nice.
It's good for a cantrip, but point blank range. So when does a wizard want to be in point blank range? Where's me d12?
Never.
Oh, there it is. I never use the d12. This is awesome, exciting. New dice. Oh, 1? Really? Come on. I'll do 3 damage.
All right. Nice.
So we're gonna find out lizards are resistant to poison as well. It becomes like 1 damage. And like,
shockingly, they're not actually. They're not actually. I thought for sure they would be resistant to it, but they're not.
Friggin'
Nope.
Poison spray, stupid poo gas. Smells worse. Doesn't do damage as good as it bloody smells though, does it? Stupid thing.
Fantastic. Any lingering effects from that, or just the initial damage and that's it?
Yeah, no, it's just the one-off damage. Yeah.
Okay. No
I
worries.
think they're like really distracted though, because who's going to be able to concentrate when it smells that poorly in front of them?
And it was just 3 damage, Good try though. Call. You are still buried under the earth. It's getting a little hard to breathe. Go ahead and give me a strength check. Strength saving throw.
All right.
Just anytime I say check, it's a saving throw. Okay, I can't. It's never gonna change. It's been like 60-something episodes. I'm gonna say check forever. Just know that. Okay.
Strength saving throw on the way.
Thank you. Thank you.
Strong bird. It's 11 total.
11.
Get me out of
yes.
this prison.
You are able to move enough. You sort of schlep enough dirt and rock off of you and push your way out. Your fingers kind of poke through the dirt and you feel the air, and you now open up this this tomb of death. And you breathe the relatively fresh air once again. Again, it's pretty musty. It's pretty It's now stanky over in this direction, actually, because of Nigel. But it still is better than not breathing under the earth. So you are free. That is going to take up your turn, unfortunately. But next turn, you will be free to move and do as you choose. Mendax.
I'm going to try to stab the one in front of me
Okay.
with my rapier.
Alrighty, you do get advantage on this, which means you do get your sneak attack because rogues in 5th edition are busted as shit.
Alright. 17 plus 6 is my highest.
Yeah, that's gonna hit for sure. Give me some damage.
Alright, we are 1d8 plus 3, and then 4d6.
Okay.
1d8 plus 3, 5 plus 3 is 8. Plus 1 is 9. Plus 4 is 13. Plus 1 is 14. And plus 2 is 16.
All right. The illumination from the fairy fire is certainly helping you pick out a critical spot on the lizard as you thrust your rapier into sort of the base of its skull and stab up through it. It lets out this sort of, again, sort of blood-curdling, high-pitched scream. Okay. Yeah, we're closer on that one. Yeah, all right, we'll do that. Actually, that one was pretty good. I like that last one. Can you do that one again? That last one? Yeah, that's good. We're sticking with that one. It lets out that noise as its body sort of curls up and sort of compresses in on itself as its muscles start to contract, and it falls over dead. Yeah, it's dead. It's not moving. Stiff as a board now. Well done. However, my other lizard is still alive and is still relatively mad at Nigel. Let's see if it can eat him. Nigel, you are covered in the purple stuff. Yes.
Speaking of eating, how does that green screen taste, by the way, Mendax?
Wait, am I eating my green screen?
No, your doggo. He's so
Oh, yes.
Oh, he is. He is eating the green screen. That's so funny.
She's got worse than eating the green screen. She's eating a
didn't even-
large dried bull penis at the moment. They make those stupid bully sticks, and the French bulldog that I'm puppy sitting, his owner sent like a big bushel of fucking dried dicks for these dogs to eat, and they keep trading dicks because they can't be happy with the one dick they have in their mouth. They have to have all the dicks in their mouths, and so now I've got my eldest has second-hand dick, technically third-hand dick at this point, and she's bashing her face and said dick into the wall. And this is my life.
Is that actually a real thing?
Yes, it's a real thing.
It
Yeah, they
is.
dry out the penises of bulls, and then dogs eat them. And you want to know what it smells like?
No.
No.
Actually, I
No.
It smells
don't.
like penis.
I'd like to know.
It smells like penis. I'm sure you guys have probably, like, I don't know, engaged in a game of soggy biscuit at one point or another, and it probably smells like the biscuit at the almost end of that game.
I don't even know what that is.
God. Don't explain it. We're not going into this right
A
now.
soggy biscuit.
Don't ask and don't explain. I'm actually moving past this. Legitimately. Nigel is about to die. I can be
Nigel knows what
derailed.
soggy biscuit is.
I'm not being derailed this far, though. You can explain to him afterwards when we're not live on Neuro's channel, but we're still live on Pig's channel. How about that?
What if I explained it using puppets?
No. All right. Nigel, you're being attacked. No, Nigel's being attacked. Nigel's being attacked.
Bring it on, you slow wizard, you stupid snake creature.
All right. With advantage, the lizard is able to bite you, sir.
Hold on, before
All
you
right.
roll damage, do I need to pop it now or after? When you are hit,
So you are hit now.
when you take, it's a reaction, take when you're hit, and then you can increase your armor class. Wait,
Ah.
doesn't that change the hit chance though? That I need to do that earlier before they
Wait,
roll for me,
wait.
right?
Sorry. What are you?
Shield.
Shield. What reaction would you take when you are hit by an attack or targeted by the magic missile spell? No. You do that now. So essentially, it's like a flash barrier that comes up, and it does recalculate. And you don't know whether or not I will fail, but you can do it and see if I hit. Would you like to cast?
Yeah, I'll pop a level 1 shield. We'll see.
Okay, which gives you how much extra armor?
5.
Whoa.
Okay, I definitely still hit you. But it looks a little shinier now that you crush a shield in between as well now.
Expecto Patronum, and it just bites right through it and bites my hand, I guess.
Yep, exactly that. Nigel, you take a total of 10 points of damage as the lizard's fangs and sharp teeth sink deep into your arm and hands. And it is going to try and grapple you. Give me a DC 15 strength saving throw. Strength saving check.
I'm not very good at grappling. So all that rowing of the dwarf boats made me stronger. The lats, 15 strength, you said?
15 strength.
Okay, let's go. Well, I'm actually stronger than you think. I have a +1, so that becomes a 2. Is that 2 greater
big.
than 15?
+2 is big.
Wow. Wait, you got a 2 total? So you rolled a 1, you got +1. Alrighty, that is definitely going to fail. You are currently grappled and restrained by the lizard. It is now going to try and swallow you.
What?
Watch out, Nigel!
Oh, which is 100% will do. Yay! Cool things happening finally with my creature.
What do you mean, yay? He just got eaten.
I'm happy about it. So he will sort of drag you into its gullet as it pulls your arm and swallows you in one fell swoop. It will deal a total of... Oh, jeez. Let me do my math here. 15 points of damage to you, Nigel, as you're swallowed fully by the lizard. You are now in its stomach. You are
Did you say
restrained.
15 damage?
15 damage as it swallows you, yes. You're kind of crushed by the muscles and compacted as you're sent down into its belly. You now understand how all of those crickets and flies you used to feed to your pet frog must feel, as you have an uncannily similar experience. You sort of slosh into this putrid smelling liquid and take 12 points of acid damage as you are in the stomach of this lizard.
Okay, I'm unconscious. Thankfully, I don't have to consciously experience being in here anymore because it's gross.
Yes, it is. You're blinded, restrained, and now unconscious. This is not a good combination for you. Awesome. Man, I'm so happy that worked. Ribbons. So Mendax and Call, you sort of bust free of this earthy prison. Mendax, you just kill your lizard very valiantly. It's going very much the way of the Wayfarers. And you look over to Nigel. He must be killing his foe. And you see a giant lizard sort of toss him up in the air and swallow him whole as he snatches him out of the sky.
Oh my God!
You see him sort of slide down and into its stomach, which is now sort of large and distended as a fully sized human is now being eaten. Very cool. Ribbons' turn. He is going to... How much damage did you take, Mendax?
I took 7 hits of damage, or 7 points of damage.
Okay, he's just gonna try and heal you. He will walk over and he'll lay his hands on sort of your shoulder there, as you flick your rapier and you dash the blood away, and you heal for a total of 12 points of damage, as your wounds stitch shut on their own.
Thank you so much, Ribbons.
Okay. Nigel, you're unconscious. Give me a death saving throw. Roll a d20. I do these so infrequently.
Did I kill my lizard?
11.
You did. It's dead.
Perfect. Okay.
You did. Du-du-du-du-du-du. Sorry, one moment. I have to look up how this lizard acts now that you're eaten.
You'll probably be very content
worries.
and full now, ready for a nap.
Okay, you succeed. Because you rolled higher than 10. So that is one success. You do, however, take an additional damage from being in its stomach, and you also take a failure. So you have one success and one failure. Essentially, if you reach 3 failures, you are dead. If you reach 3 successes, you're alive. A 1 counts as 2 failures, and a 20 counts as 2 successes. Anything over a 10 is a success, and anything under a 10 is a failure. So you are alive currently.
The damage doesn't have to get calculated, right? It's just that's what counts as the failure, right?
Not anymore.
Yeah.
There is if you take over double your HP in damage, you instantly die.
Okay. But that's got to be all in one go or cumulative?
Yeah, it has to be all in one go.
Okay, yeah.
So you are consumed currently, and it is now Call's turn. Call, you witness with horror as your friend is swallowed whole by a lizard. What would you like to do?
I would like to rage, first of all.
Okay, you go into a rage.
I would like to use my scythe for 2 attacks at this lizard that has swallowed my friend. And it
Okay.
also smashed our ironic wood carving, and I'm pissed off.
Absolutely fair. Go ahead and give me some hit rolls.
Alright. We've got a d20 plus 6 to hit. 11 plus 6, 17.
Okay, that's a hit.
9 plus 6 is 15.
That is also a hit.
Excellent. Now for the d12. d12 plus 6 with strength weapons while raging. Strong burn. Thick burn.
Big bird.
Alright. 8 plus 6, 14 damage. 4 plus 6 is 10 damage. 24 damage. Scythe. Scythe.
Wait, 44?
24.
24. Yes, very nicely
If
done.
you want to give me 24.
No, I just make sure I didn't miss here. Yes, you run up to this lizard in a frenzy and a rage, very pissed off at the current state of things, and especially seeing, as much as you're angry at Nigel, seeing him consumed by a lizard doesn't sit well with you. You run up and in 2 quick chops, you cleave its neck open and slice off the head of this lizard. As it falls to the ground, blood sort of splurting out of its neck. And as its muscles again kind of contract with death and it sort of spasms, Nigel kind of slides out of the neck hole of this creature, covered in like a viscous, mucusy slime. He smells worse than he looks, and he looks very bad as he is unconscious and dying.
Oh! 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 Oh,
He shit himself while he was in there.
oh, something.
It's like, have you ever seen the Jim Carrey scene in Ace Ventura, you know, with the rhino and things like that?
I'm picturing It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia coming out of the couch.
I
Gross.
don't know that reference, but I'm sure it's pretty
Oh
accurate.
my god, with naked Danny
sure.
DeVito pushes
Oh,
his way
okay.
out of
Actually, I
the
think I do. I think I do know that one. Ribbons will quickly run up to you, Nigel, not deterred or impeded by the smell or the state of things at all. And he will very quickly, he will cast Spare the Dying, which instantly stabilizes you at 0 hit points. So you don't have to make these rolls anymore. And what's your max HP?
41.
41. He will cast a walloping a walloping 3d8 plus 4 to you. Let me see. Yeah. Okay. So he is going to heal you for where did my d8 go though? What the hell? Okay, I don't know where it is. All right, well, I just rolled it, but I don't know where it went, so we will just roll it on the internet. Oh, no, here it is. I found it. 2 plus 2 is 4, plus 8 is 12, plus 4 is 16. So you're healed for 16 hit points as you gasp back to life, certain that you saw the other side and did not like what it has in store for you. In fact, the last time you were unconscious and dying was when you all fought Gothel. And he killed you all, essentially. And Ribbons brought you back to life using his flesh. Nigel, you have not been this close to death since then. And as you sort of begun to fade away and remained unconscious, you once again had these sort of disturbing visions, as if you're standing over yourself, sort of floating over yourself. But you're very different from how you are now. You have a hard time actually seeing your physical body, but you see the actions that you're doing, some of them a bit too horrifying for you to remember. Your mind sort of scrubs them out of memory. But you remember the feeling of sort of terror and shock as if you woke up from a bad dream. But you feel worse than death, but are alive.
I spit up some stomach acid and shiver myself back to that kind of hunched over standing position. Thanks, Carl. Thank you. Thanks, Ribbons.
You're welcome. You smell like shit.
Course.
I feel like shit.
Do you have any air freshener spells? It's okay.
I think with illusion, I can make things smell, actually.
Really?
You just put an illusion of smell over yourself.
Yep. I can basically perfume myself, I think. Let me see.
Oh, it smells like rosemary. Excellent.
Bit of sage.
I can only do sound and images. I can make myself look beautiful.
Okay.
I can make myself sound beautiful. I can't make myself smell beautiful.
It's okay.
Wonderful. You are all alive. Most of you are well. Nigel is a bit worse off. It's up to you guys how you would like to proceed. Ribbons will ask if you want him to heal you further. He'll leave it up to you, unsure of what your kind of current state is.
I could pass out at any moment. Yes, please.
Okay. He will. You're still pretty wounded, eh?
15 out of 41.
Okay. You also are able to, if you choose to, you guys can take a short rest. Short rests have to be at least 1 hour long. But when you do so, you can spend any number of your hit dice. This is not something we've done very often. You can spend any number of your hit dice and heal yourself by rolling that amount. So that's also up to you guys if you want to do that.
I would take some healing from Ribbons. Down for a short rest. I was thinking of just using these old rags I have in my inventory and cleaning some of the slop off of Nigel. It's like glowing.
Yeah, you can definitely do that.
Rancid.
You can definitely do that.
I think I was halfway to becoming lizard shit myself, so it's not surprising that I smell like it.
Yeah, so Call, you'll head over to Nigel, and you'll kind of use these already somewhat dirty rags, to be honest with you. But they're cleaner than he is, to wipe off some of this sort of muck and goo and stomach acid is what it actually is. Yeah, so yeah, I'll let you guys decide. So if you want ribbons to heal you, you can. That means you can proceed forward immediately, but it does expend some of his spells for the day. Or if you want to, you can rest for 1 hour, and then you can spend these hit dice. You have 1 per level. Wizards, for instance, your hit dice is 1d6. So in that hour, you could spend up to 5d6 and heal yourself for that amount. Those are just refilled every single day. Again, it's not something we do very often, but it is a part of the game. Figure.
Well, we need it, yeah, for sure. I'm gonna use it, definitely.
Okay, so you want to rest for the hour then and heal yourself up.
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay, and you can roll them one at a time. You don't have to I'm gonna roll 4 and then possibly overheal. So it's on your class page. I know. So wizard is 1d6, so you can spend up to 5 of those in a given day. Mendax, I think you're fully healed, so I don't think you need any of that. And then barbarians are 1d12, so you can spend up to 5d12 to heal yourself for that amount.
Whoa.
Is there a way to mark them as being used on the character page?
There should, if there's not.
I mean, I don't think we're gonna use
take
it more
a
than
look.
once a day
We
anyway, so it should be
probably
fine.
aren't.
I'm
Yeah,
just
I don't
gonna
actually.
I'll just use them
Okay.
all now anyway, so it'll be
Okay.
fine. Yeah.
There you go. Yeah, I don't think this is one of the things that's tracked very much. You can click short rest on your character sheet, and I think that's where you can spend them. It's at the very top of the page. You don't have to, though. It's not that big of a deal.
No, I like learning how to use the built-in system. Why not?
Yeah. And I think with wizards, actually, when you take a short rest, you might be able to refill some of your spell slots. I'm not sure if that's. I know some wizards can do
It
that.
says
I don't
it's
know if you can.
1d12 plus 4 for a barbarian.
Oh,
Yeah,
it's because your constitution. Yeah, so you get +4. That's right.
Holy-
So you get
and I get
+4,
plus
and you
2, yeah.
get +2. Yeah.
Apparently, I have
Boom.
6 of them. Wait, 7? 7 hit dice? That seems like too many.
Short
Oh
rest
no,
taken.
sorry. You guys are level 7. I thought for some reason you're level 5. You're absolutely
right,
level
right.
7. That's why you have 7. Yeah. It's been a minute since we played. We have to dust off the cobwebs.
I'm gonna roll
out of my brain.
2 of my hit dice. I already healed with one of them.
Okay.
And then 2 plus 4 is 6. This is cool. I've never taken a short rest before.
Yeah, I don't think you guys have literally ever short rested
I'm gonna
ever.
spend a
You're
third-
always just like, go, we go. I'm gonna go.
All right. I'm actually going to spend 4 of them. Why not? They reset at the end of the day. 5 plus
Sure.
4 is 9.
Go for it.
And I'm healed up to full. Look at this.
Boom. Look at that.
1 plus 4.
Short rest.
I wonder if
Short
those lizards
rest.
realize the great damage they've dealt. This was an ancient artifact of artwork, and they just busted it.
Destroyed, splintered. You take this short rest to look over the fractured remains of your once beloved artwork. Now destroyed beyond recognition.
Did any of the splinters penetrate him?
No.
Are you sure?
Yes.
I mean, it's wood. You did
Nope,
say
yeah.
it's splintered.
It did.
Are you sure
not-
he was not penetrated by the wood?
I'm sure.
They've pretty thick feathers.
It's in a bag. So.
It's just a bunch of wood chips now.
Sharp splinters could go right through.
Yeah. Could be carrying a piece of that carving
This
with you
was
for the
an
rest of your life. You might
old-
not even notice.
Old, smooth, well-worn, well-used piece of wood. It was like hard leather, essentially.
First I get cooked by Nigel, and now Mendax wants me to be stabbed by wood chips.
No, I was just asking if you'd been penetrated.
You're like the person that
That's a
asked
very
if there's
personal
homework.
question.
Well, if you
Teacher, is there
can't
homework?
leave
You
it
didn't
in
say anything.
forever.
I'm just checking.
You cannot leave the wood in you forever. At some point, it would have to come out. So I'm just looking out for you.
Thanks for your concern. It really means a lot.
It would get very pussy.
Is this innuendo? We never have any innuendo on Wayfarers. It's super serious.
Yeah,
show.
never.
What?
No, never. Nope.
Frost Giant Studios in the gutter.
We were worried about sepsis and such.
Exactly.
Only wholesome concerns to be had here.
Ah,
And
that's
one
right.
thing that we know is nothing in the environment is ever dick-shaped. Ever.
No.
No.
Nope.
Not
I
a
certainly
single
wouldn't do that.
time.
Not even dicks.
That's true.
They're not.
Makes
Yeah,
a
he's
lot
a
of sense
butcher.
to me.
He's not shaped like that. Why
No,
would
he's
he?
not. So
Was he
during the
both?
Okay. You guys roast up some lizard and munch on that, healing your wounds and expending these hit dice to heal yourself up. Nigel, are you back up to full, or where are you at after that, out of curiosity?
Yeah, I used 6 hit dice just to make sure,
Okay.
so I'm back on full.
Nice, you're back up to full. I think Call is back up to full, so you guys look to be pretty good. During this hour where you guys are resting, you sort of inspect the environment around you. There's now a large crater of about maybe 10 feet. It looks like a little semicircle, as if there's been some large explosion on the side of the wall. No idea what or who could have done that, but that's there now. And the rubble and dirt from the earth sort of has now like piled onto the ground in a sort of landslide. And that landslide has covered the, we'll say, exit to this room. You guys saw sort of this narrow passageway that looks like it had been carved out from the stone, or maybe it was there naturally. It didn't look, it's not like an ornate door or archway or anything like that. That is now covered by quite a lot of earth and rubble. It will take you some time to clear that out of the way. How would you guys like to do that? Are you just hoofing it? You doing some manual labor? Are you going to try and use more magical means? 2 fireballs make a right, is what I've been told. So, I mean, hey, you know, you always have that option for you.
I speak rock. I could just tell them to move. Hey,
You don't
rocks!
speak rock?
Make like a stone and roll out of here.
Okay. You say that, nothing happens.
Not even a couple of pebbles, just mosey along.
Nope.
It's worth a shot.
It was.
Yeah.
Well, actually, I don't know if it was, but
Nigel,
you did
do you
it,
know
so.
rock magic?
No, but maybe Goop does. Goop, do you speak rock?
It looks up at you. Goop looks up at you and that stands there, not really even understanding that you've talked to it.
You're made of rock. Tell your cousins to move.
It will sort of hobble itself over to the rocks, and it will pick up one of the smallest looking stones there and start moving it out of the way.
Let's go, Goop. What a go-getter.
He has now done more work to clear out this passageway than any of you all have done.
So we can all sit back and have snacks and watch Goop clear out this area.
Yeah, sure, if you want to.
All right, how many hours would that take?
A few days, probably.
A few days.
I think the city can withstand siege for a few more days.
Few days. You guys have done a lot of hard work, you know. You deserve this rest.
Yeah.
Maybe head back up to the Centaur village, see if there's any more cool treasure.
The snakes in the grass.
With the snakes in the ground, yeah. That was a fun time
Well,
for
I
you.
will help out with this. Jokes aside, I don't want a Goop to do it all himself.
Okay. Give me a strength check. Let me know what you get.
Strength check. Strong
Strength
bird.
check. Strength check.
We get a plus
Give
3
me
on
a
those.
strength check.
2 plus 3 is 5.
Okay, you pick up a rock that's slightly larger than the one that Goop picked up and move that out of the way.
I'm going to help as well.
All right, give me a strength check. You guys, I'll skip the jokes.
got a
You guys can
5.
all make it. Okay, actually, I'm not going to skip the jokes. You pick up an equally sized rock to the one Call does and move it out of the way. Never mind.
get a
Nigel,
piece of-
do you want to do a
I get a
strength
rod
check?
of metal. I use the power of understanding leverage to
Uh-huh.
move rocks that are bigger than my strength would otherwise achieve.
Okay, give me a strength check with advantage.
How did you do that?
15.
Wow.
Plus, plus whatever strength is, +1.
Whoa.
There was quite of a large chunk of rock, like a boulder, in the way of the opening. You take this metal bar, and using the power of science, you hoist it out of the way, rolling it down the side and into a little grassy patch of this ravine, if you will. And the opening is now unblocked.
Nice
Science,
work,
bitches.
Well done, team. Good job.
Good job, Goop.
Very nice.
The way is now open. It is a narrow passageway, if you're familiar with any terrifying spelunking videos, that you guys can kind of squeeze your way into and sort of force your way down this passageway. It looks to be the only way forward that you can go. You don't see any other exits of this room other than the opening in the ceiling.
Then we will go.
Okay, who would like to go first?
I'll go first.
Alrighty. Who is following up behind Mr. Call?
Are we doing the Nigel sandwich?
I'm not worried about anything from behind. You two can go first.
All right, I'll go
then-
second.
I'll come in after, and then Ribbon's behind at the back.
Okay. Yeah, you guys kind of compress yourselves and squeeze through this passageway. It's slow going at first, Call, as you're not very, learned in how to do this, but you make your way through. You're quite strong. It's a bit painful. It's a bit of a tight fit. And you proceed forward that way for maybe an hour or so, honestly. Not really making a whole lot of progress, having to stop quite often. It's pretty uncomfortable as you guys have to stop and just hold this position. But eventually, Call, you find an opening that's slightly larger than the one that you guys have been going through now. If you hunch down, you can kind of bring yourself to where now you can stand normally, slightly skewed to one side, maybe just a little bit, but nothing like the squeeze that you guys were in before. And slowly but surely, Ash comes through next. You sort of help her out of that squeeze. The same with Nigel, and the same with Ribbons behind. Goop was able to barely fit as well as you pulled him along, Nigel will say. You guys are now in this sort of winding corridor. The ground is pretty wet at this point. It was dry where you were before. There was dew and sort of mist. Like I said, a pretty high humidity, but now the ground is completely wet, and it's sort of soaked through. Like you're standing at the edge of a beach where the shore is. Think of it like that. As you stand there, this cold water starts to seep in through your shoes, and you can feel it on your feet. Nigel, you are completely fucking blind. It is so dark in here. Mandax and Call, because you have dark vision, which is once again so overpowered, you can see everything is in shades of black and white, but you can make out the area that you're in. You see the corridor winds down further. What would you guys like to do?
I can't see shit. Can I light a torch?
Are you asking me, or you're sorry, or your party?
I'm asking the party.
Got it.
Because I can't see anything. I have no idea where I am.
Well, Lord Truehorn didn't warn us about anything we couldn't do in these caves. He also didn't warn us about anything that was in these caves that was going to hurt us, so you could try.
Have we noticed the liquid that it's just water or?
I mean, you can't say for 100% certainty, but it doesn't have any weird smell or odor to it. Again, it just kind of smells like a cave. You guys have been in caves before. It smells like a cave. It smells bad because Nigel is near you, but besides that, it's pretty okay.
Yeah, I think I like a torch would be fine. I mean, you should be able to see and then maybe like splash some water on yourself a bit. I don't have any extra pants for you anymore, Nigel. You've gone through every single pair of pants I've ever stolen.
Right now, this smells the last of our concern. I'm sure Lord Truehorn and the elves will have some spare clothes for me, but I'm definitely not showering in this freezing cold water. I can already feel it through my shoes, and it's bloody cold. I light up a torch.
Okay, sounds good. You all proceed forward now with the torch in hand. That does provide some nice warmth to you guys, even to those of you who can see in the dark. But now you can see your way. You see on the sides of the walls, there's a few bugs that sort of skitter out of the light as you light that torch. A couple spiders. You can see webs sort of clinging to the ceiling. This looks like a pretty active place for bugs and that sort of thing. So whoever is going first is going to have to clear these spider webs out of the way. You can see that there's like these hanging sort of like slime tendrils, if you will, that when you touch them sort of react and sort of back up to the ceiling as if there's some carnivorous plant or something like that. They're not large, they're pretty small. They would trap bugs and things like that. They're not like huge human-sized ones or anything like that.
Are they orange?
Why do you want them to be orange?
Because I've seen the original Super Mario Bros. Movie, and they would touch the slime, and it would back up,
Sure.
and it would drop down bombs.
Okay, well, it doesn't do that, but yeah, they're orange, sure.
But we should watch out for bombs.
Definitely.
I mean, you should always watch out for bombs, to be honest. Like, that's just a generally good thing.
It's a code to live by.
It is. I live by that code.
That's good.
Rule number 1, look out for bombs.
Even if you're just going to brunch.
Look out for bombs, dude.
Yep.
Bombs ain't gonna catch me sleeping. That is for sure. All right. You guys proceed forward. Again, you sort of have to crouch down. There's maybe 4 feet of space between you and the ceiling, so some of you have to really sort of slouch down and crouch over. But you can proceed forward. You're sort of using the wall to stabilize yourself. Every now and again, you have to flick off one of the bugs that crawls on your skin.
Gross.
And you, yeah, you're getting covered in this sort of web. And as you move forward, the water seems to be kind of almost it's getting wetter. Your feet are sinking further and further into this sort of dirt and sand mixture until eventually you travel for maybe we'll say 30 to 40 feet or so, again pretty slowly as you're having to really take your time to move and crouch down, and you're in this winding passage. But after about 30 or 40 feet or so, the torch picks up a reflection sort of off in the distance, maybe 10 feet away from you guys. And as you approach, you can see that the cavern sort of shifts down and enters into this pool of water. So there is essentially now just like a hole, if you will, and a pool of water that you can go down into. You don't see any other direction that you can go. The only way forward from what you can see is to go into this water. You shine the torch sort of above it, trying to get a gauge of if you can see down there. The water is very dark. It's very, very black, hard to see down further than a few feet. When you shine your torch over the top of it, you can see there's a couple of critters that are swimming in there. A frog sort of does its swimming away and down. And you can see that the walls of the cavern, they do force you to go down. It's not like you just go into the pool and then come back up. You have to swim down for some way before you can come back up again. If you can come back up again, you're not 100. You don't know where this leads to. So you're not sure how far down this water goes and when you will next be able to breathe. So that is something you guys will have to consider greatly as we take our little mid-session break here and come back in just a few minutes.
Whoa. We'll have to see how we can navigate this cave. It's looking pretty sus.
Bit sussy baka.
Yes. Well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning into Wayfarers Live, coming at you with episode 18. We'll be returning after this brief message from our sponsors. Actually, just an intermission, but we'll be back after this.
Microphone engaged. Desktop audio engaged. Ladies and gentlemen, we are back with Wayfarers Live, episode 18. The team has just fought 2 spooky lizards. Pig almost killed Call. Call almost watched Pig get swallowed whole and killed by lizards. And they continue down this mysterious cavern with the shimmering pool on Wayfarers.
Hello and welcome back. One quick note, actually, I just saw this pig. Just so you know, your category is set to D&D. It's not actually Dungeons and Dragons. I don't know if you knew that. But figured I'd mention it.
I think Dot changed it for me before. I even
Okay.
checked and went, oh yeah, it says D&D. No worries. What is D&D?
I have no idea. I'm like,
What
it's
even-
definitely not
now-
that. I clicked it and I'm like, you're the only streamer in D&D though. I will say that, so.
Yeah, I'm dominating my category. You idiots! You
are.
go out there chasing the dragon. You're like, I'm gonna go after the biggest game because it's popular. No, I dominate the category with 0 viewers. Get wrecked, nerds.
There you go. Number 1 streamer. Fantastic. We are at an impasse, Wayfarers. There is a pool of water that goes down some indeterminate amount of length and distance, and you're not quite sure what lies on the other side, if there even is an other side to this body of water. It looks, it's about, we'll say 3 feet in diameter. Well, no, we'll go 3.5, 4 feet in diameter or so. So definitely enough for you to squeeze your way sort of down into there, but it will be a tight fit and somewhat uncomfortable. How would you all like to proceed?
Uncomfortably.
I've got a diver's kit
Oh,
Really? Why? That's weird.
because I bought it from the blacksmith.
Ah, that's right, you did.
Yeah, because I'm irresponsible with my money.
That's true.
So,
A diver's kit, really?
yes, I've got an air bladder, a common buoy, 30 feet of chain, a fishing net, a glass bottle, a pound of soap, 3 sun rods, a waterproof bag, and a waterproof hooded lantern with 3 flasks of oil.
You're telling me we had this soap this whole time? I've been dying with Nigel's smell.
You do have this soap.
God damn it.
Yeah, but he
do
said
have
he didn't
the
want
soap.
to get. I said splash some water on yourself. He wouldn't even do that. He said it's too cold. I don't think the soap would make a difference if he won't get it wet. Can't be dry soaping himself.
Good lord.
Just rubbing his filth on my bar of soap. It's pure and perfect now.
You know, when the person in the shower hasn't rinsed it off before they.
Oh.
Do you know how Nigel's like an otter. He's just all hair underneath the clothes. Gonna be so much hair on that soap.
More than a few short and curlies stuck on that bar of soap.
God, it's gonna look like a fucking Furby.
Okay. Of those items that you listed, the air bladder, obviously you can use to take breaths down there. We'll say you can take maybe 3 or 4 breaths from it. I'm not assuming it's massive. So you can use that to sort of parse out your air. The sun rods are like basically torches, but underwater. They're like giant glow sticks, essentially. So those can be used to illuminate the underwater. And they last, I think, for like an hour or so. So a pretty long time. And then the waterproof hooded lantern. I actually have no idea how that's supposed to work since there's no oxygen underwater for you to burn. But we'll just say the glow sticks are probably your best option. And any other perishable items you guys can stow away into the waterproof bag.
You mean I got scammed with an underwater lantern?
I don't understand. I cannot
Son of a
feasibly think of how that works. I actually just don't get how that would work. So if
It's
somebody
hooded.
can
So you just flip the hood over it and then seal it, but it's translucent hood, so there's a certain amount of air inside.
okay.
Yes.
Physically, that would work, and it would burn the air up very quickly, and then it would go out.
It's a very tiny flame.
No. I have no idea how that really would work. So I'm just gonna say use the sun rods if you want to see under the water.
Okay. Then I think I should do that. You guys, I can jump in first. If one of you holds the chain or we tie the buoy to the side of the chain that stays over here. Probably should do that, actually. Probably tie the buoy. Yes, Carl.
I had a question. It's about my demon soul. So you know how every day after a short or long rest I can choose my specialization of jumping, swimming, or climbing?
Uh-huh.
Could I change that to swimming now?
So, let's see.
I did a short rest, but I didn't know that I would need to swim when I took the short rest.
You would have had to change it at the short rest, for sure.
Balls.
Okay.
Sorry.
Oh, I'm getting
Sorry.
very tired. Oh, I'm so,
I mean, you
so
can
tired.
you can take another hour
God,
if you
I'm
want
tired.
to.
I'm falling asleep. Oh my god. Oh shit, it's been an hour. I'm awake. I feel better.
How do you feel about your swimming skills? Do you remember how to swim at all?
You know, now that you mention it, and I feel well rested. I'm remembering that one time I fell off the boat and I swam just fine.
If you want a short rest again, you can definitely choose swimming form if you want to. But I can't guarantee you that nothing will happen to you during your short rest. Anytime that happens, I usually roll, depending on how dangerous the area you guys are in. Which you're in a relatively dangerous place. And sometimes you may get attacked and things will happen. So, up to you.
Let's consult with the team. Mendax, Nigel, do you think we could rest and meditate upon the art of swimming, or do we want to try Mendax's plan of using the buoys and the stuff?
I don't think we're really diving if we go down there anyway. We kind of have to swim along. I guess we can drag the boy along with us. But yeah, just have a rest, eh? I think an hour can't kill us.
Well, it could.
Shouldn't.
It should.
You know.
But it might.
I already
God,
almost
Finn,
died
now
today.
you said it. Now we're all dead. Gothel's
not-
going to come back.
Maybe
Gotcha,
you two,
bitch.
not me. I mean, I've already used up my death of the day, so
Okay.
can't happen twice in one day.
It's not that bad. It's pretty bad, but... Okay, well... What?
You decide that the passageway that you went through was too arduous, and you guys must rest again as you figure out how to proceed forward. Each of you give me a D20 roll.
A 5.
15.
A 2.
Mendax, as you guys are resting, huddled in this cold, dark cave, you feel something crawl up your leg for a moment.
I am not a wood carving!
And whatever this is, as you frantically try and get it off of you, bites into your flesh, stinging you, dealing 9 points of damage as it injects some poison into your bloodstream.
What the fuck?
As you do, and you get this thing off of your leg, you see this many-spined, sort of looking almost caterpillar-like creature sort of shuffle away very quickly into one of the dark crevices of the cave.
God.
It burns very badly. It hurts quite a lot. But other than that, you feel okay.
Hey, Ribbons. Would you mind taking a look at this thing? I got bit by a very angry worm.
Sure. He will heal you. For 10 points of damage. But that's one of his spell slots expended. How many does he have left? Nobody knows. Except for me. Alright.
Not the
Let's
worst
say
thing that's ever crawled up my leg.
your short rest has ended. Carl, you can choose a different path if you would like.
Swim, swim, swim with the seabird, seabird. Swim, swim, swim with the seabird, seabird.
Okay, you choose to adapt your body to a more aquatic form using your path of the demon. To do so, your hands become more webbed and aquatic-like, making it easier for you to maneuver around in the water. You sort of develop gills on the sides of your neck, allowing you to breathe underneath, and your feet become webbed as well, almost like flippers.
I call the Kenku Birdberry and call upon the power of
The ducks!
The ducks, indeed.
Yes.
You take on the form of ducks with gills, but we'll just overlook that part.
Yeah.
You've adapted yourself to be able to swim underwater.
Great.
You can swim and breathe underwater now until your next short rest.
So if you guys want, I can just, hop in there, swim around, see what's on the other side, then come back and I'll let you know, tell you about what's over there, maybe just update you just on my life in general, and we could start with that. Or not. We could just go back to sleep.
I'm fine with it, but it's up to you, your party.
Say that one more time.
So what I was going to do was, because I practiced swimming so much and I have the power of ducks now, I was going to go swim in there, go to the other side, make sure everything's A-okay, great, and then let you know about how long you need to hold your breath and all that kind of stuff, and when I return.
Would you like one of the torches, the underwater torches, or sunrod?
A sunrod?
Yes. What if you get down there and there might be something that you can see, or it might be a little cavernous.
Oh, you're saying like if I met a merchant, I could trade him the sunrod for something of value?
No, if you're underwater, you'll have light.
Oh, that's a great idea. I'll take that.
Okay, I'm going to give him one of the sunrods.
All right.
Okay. To activate it, you just kind of snap it. Do you wanna activate it?
I will activate the sunrod, and then I will have the power of the ducks and the sun.
Yep. You crack the sunrod. It lets out a blast of light as a chemical reaction inside begins to illuminate the area very fiercely. You shake it to kind of mix it all around and get the whole thing going.
And, Carl, wait,
and
before you dive in, give us your shit that you don't want to get wet.
Okay. I will give them inventory.
Dratch!
My bedroll.
Foiled again!
My bedroll.
Not
my
today,
cloak,
DM. Not today.
my disguise kit. My javelins, my mess kit, my manacles, the lantern of seeking, the old rags, the poisonous short sword, the questioner's poisonous mushrooms, the quiche recipe, the rations, the red antler, the rope. I'll keep my scythe with me. I'll keep the soul ring, but I'll give them the stake, the strength potion, the tarnished silver ring, the tinderbox, the torch, and the water skin.
Okay, Ash, if you take all of that, you will be over encumbered.
Well, I'm just going to hold it until he gets back, and then we can put it all in the waterproof bag, and then hopefully Carl is biggest, thickest bird and might be able to swim with it.
Sounds good.
If we attach the buoy to it.
I'm happy with that. So basically, Carl, you're just taking the sunrod, the clothes on your back, and the scythe with you down there. Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay. Sounds good. So are you going in? You have to choose. Are you going in head first into this pool, or are you going in feet first? It is only large enough for you to sort of slide yourself down at this point.
I will go.
Think of it like a tube, if you will.
Yeah, I will go head first so I can have the light in front of me so I can see.
Okay, sounds good. You sort of lay yourself down on the ground and pull yourself into this pool, holding the sunrod out from in front of you. This is the first time you've used your aquatic form, so breathing underwater is quite weird. Even though you know that you can breathe underwater, you sort of spasm for a moment as your body freaks out and your brain thinks that you're going to drown. But you realize that you don't breathe in through your mouth, you just kind of filter it through these gills, and you're okay. Okay, perfect. You adjust to your new environment, and you slide yourself down. Again, the sun rod sort of illuminating the path in front of you. It is very hard to see. The water itself is very murky. It looks like it's sapped dirt and sort of muck from the surrounding area. It's not a nice filtered pool. It's not well kept. This is a cave under the ground, right? So it's hard to see in front of you, even with the light. It only illuminates maybe the 5 feet in front of you, and then you sort of see just an abyss of water after that. Nigel and Mendax, as you watch him go down, you can see the light sort of beginning to fade as he swims down 5 feet, 10 feet, 15 feet, 20 feet down. And as you reach now 20 feet down, you reach the bottom of this tube, and you see that it veers off into sort of to the side, and it continues its a network over this tunnel going forward.
But it doesn't seem like this was the path we were meant to take.
It's the only path you can figure going forward. So going down and then kind of continuing forward. But I'm just letting you know it veers off to the side and your friends won't be able to see you anymore.
Okay. I will think about them and all the great adventures that we had, and be mentally prepared for the notion that I could just be destroyed immediately by a cave collapse or any other various misfortunate event.
Okay, that's fair.
But I will continue on.
You continue forward, and the tunnel proceeds into sort of this network of different little branching paths, and it takes you some time if you want to explore them all. Some of them go for maybe 5 or 10 feet and then end in dead end. It seems like you're gonna have to explore this area for a good while in order to find the correct path forward. It's almost like a maze in a way.
So I will explore this maze and basically figure out the way to get to the other side.
Okay.
And once I've found whatever the route is, I would need a way to mark that, so they can follow through.
If you give me a high enough intelligence check, you're pretty smart. You can probably remember the path. It will take you about 30 minutes to find what the correct path is. But once you find it, you feel pretty confident that you can navigate your way through once again, so long as you're leading them. Would you like to do that?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean,
Okay, no problem. Mendax and Nigel, after about 15 minutes or so, you start to grow really worried. Your friend has been down there for quite a while. I don't think you guys really set any limit of time. What would you like to do, if anything? Give him more time, or...
We saw the gills form, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I mean, there's been no, like, bubbles of blood pooling at the surface.
Oh, that's true. Bubbles of blood,
blood bubbles.
That's not really how blood works, but that's okay.
Well, I'm assuming that if he got bit very hard, he would have screamed, and then there would have been air bubbles, and also blood would have risen to the surface, probably.
I don't disagree with you. I will just devil's advocate here. You did see him go into like a tunnel, like so he's
we
now
saw the
in a
light
different.
go off
He's
right
in a
there.
different
Okay.
area now for sure, and you know that. I'm just bringing it up that he's been gone about 15 minutes at this point. You deal with this information as you will.
I think we can give him 30 or 45 minutes before we start worrying. He's Carl, he can handle himself.
Call it takes you about 35 minutes total to figure out what the actual path is to this opening. And when you do find it, your sun rod begins to illuminate a wide open sort of almost lake. It looks like it's just large room, maybe 40 feet across, and it goes down a distance that you actually can't see. Do you want to do anything in this room before you head back, or are you You just want to find this. What you're pretty confident must be the way forward.
Is there,
And then
is there land that they can set up on in this room?
you don't see land at the moment. Again, the water being very murky. It's hard to see off in the distance. Where you are, and sort of right above you, you don't see any land. But you do see sort of the telltale sign of like the shimmer of the top of the water. So you can tell there's air trapped at maybe the top of the ceiling area. How much air, that's to be seen. You do see the water sort of only has these bubbles, if you will. So it will be difficult to... It's not just like, oh, giant cavernous opening, just, breathe. It looks like you'll have to really sparse out when you're going to breathe.
Well, I don't want them to be stuck. Can I go up there and check to make sure that they would be able to breathe up there?
Sure. You swim your way up. Give me a perception check.
Swimming. 6 + 6 is 12.
Okay, sounds good. You head up there, and you see that there is maybe like 3 or 4 inches, enough to kind of peek your head and maybe your nose up out of the water. In most of the areas, you can kind of now see across. You hold the sun rod up. You try to see into the distance. You can't see where the end of this sort of lake tunnel area is. But you see that it extends forward some 60, 70 feet at least so far. But you do get the sense, you check, this is oxygen, you can breathe this air. You'll have to kind of either press your face up or just breathe through your nose kind of deal. But yeah, there are definitely spots where you can get up out of the water and breathe.
Okay. Well, I think I might... How long would it take me to swim to the end just to make sure that they can set up on ground?
Because you can't see the end, you're not sure. To swim the 70 feet that you can see, maybe a couple minutes.
Well, I'll try then.
If actually, I mean, not even that. You'll get there in like... Because I forgot, you have swim speed equal to your move speed. So I think your move speed's like 30 feet. So that means in like 10 seconds you can get to the other side.
Yeah, let's swim it.
Oh, so he's actually like a fish in water right now.
Yeah, he has like an aquatic form. It's actually 40 feet. Yeah, so you can get there in like 2 turns.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
you're very, very fast at swimming for sure. Yeah, so you move and you swim the 40 feet on the top. It's sort of easier for you to swim underneath the water. Give me one more perception check as you're now in the middle of the room. You still have the sun rod going, yeah? You didn't like do anything or leave it anywhere.
Yeah. 21.
21. You see, as you're swimming, sort of in the center of this room, at the bottom, which is maybe a solid 40 feet below you, there is some large, dark object that's sitting at the bottom of this pool. And as you swim over top of it, the sun rod illuminates it a good bit, and you can see through the murky water. Again, it's not so much the distance that's making it difficult to see, but how sort of cloudy this water is and how poor the visibility is. You can see it's almost like it looks like a flower, like a giant flower that's sitting at the bottom. And it has these tendrils that are just laying on the ground, sort of rooting it to the bottom of this cavern. And as the sun rod illuminates it, you see the flower start to react to it. And it was kind of closed up a little bit before, and it blooms open fully into this spectacular mixture of pink and red and green. But in the same movements, the tendrils begin to detach from the bottom of the cavern, and you can see them starting to animate and come to life. What would you like to do?
Probably swim the fuck away.
Okay, which direction is the fuck away?
Probably back the fuck the way that I came.
Okay, sounds good. Seeing this, you swim back the fucking way you came, very quickly, and it very quickly It is out of sight from you, and you can't see what it's doing anymore. But you're back in sort of that tunnel opening back into the cavern system, the tunnel system, I should say.
Well, I think I can navigate my way back through and then report to them
Yes.
what I've found.
Yep,
I will do so.
absolutely. Okay. After about 40 minutes or so, you see the light from Call's, the sun rod that he's carrying, the giant glow stick, essentially. And he very quickly surfaces to you guys. And you're very relieved to see him, because even though you gave him that much time, you were a little worried, you know. It's been a minute. Call, you're welcome to tell them whatever you saw.
And I'll spit out all the water. Sorry.
Okay.
So I went through the system here, and it's a bit windy, and there are some wrong turns. So when we go through here, you'll need to follow my lead very closely. We can all just swim it together once we've packed our things up. Definitely can make it through the passage. Once we get through this network, there's a huge lake area, mostly water in there, and there's a giant, I saw below me, flower-looking thing, and I thought that it might try to kill me, so I left. But I wanted to come back here and tell you the state of this cave.
A giant flower thing? And
Yeah.
it was in the lake?
Yeah. And it reacted to the sunrod thing. So it's possible we could use stealth to go past it. It's also possible that it's a helpful thing and it's going to give us lots of bonuses and loot. Or it's part of the secret passage. Honestly, I don't know if it means us harm or good.
Can I roll for, like, I don't know. Basically, do I know what a giant flower at the bottom of a lake might be?
You can give me a nature roll, and we can see if that reveals anything to you.
Read a lot of books in my wizard tower.
I'm proficient in
Read a
nature.
lot of books.
Can I help?
Yeah, you can too if you want.
Okay, roll a nature.
I'm not
14
that
plus
proficient,
3.
but I'll help.
14 plus 3 for you, Nigel. What did you get, Call?
I got a 1 plus 5 is 6.
Okay. Mendax, you probably wouldn't even be able to roll. Do you have nature as a proficiency?
I have a +3 in nature.
Are you proficient in it though, or
No.
okay? I'm gonna probably say that you won't be able to roll for this because it doesn't sound familiar to you. Nigel, this does shake loose some memories from some books that you've read. You had a stint where you were obsessed with aquatic plants and aquatic life. And you remember some descriptions matching what Call said. It is what they call a body taker plant. And it is a carnivorous ambush type of plant that usually sits in large, sort of dark pools. And what it will try to do is extend its tendrils and trap any creatures that it can grab with its sticky coating on the outside, and try to drag whatever it is down into the depths below and consume their corpse when they inevitably run out of oxygen or they squeeze the life out of it.
Okay, I share that. It's definitely not a friendly flower from the thought of it. The sound of it, Carl, it sounds like a body taker. And it'll try to eat the shit out of us. If you let any of its tendrils touch you, they're incredibly adhesive, and you probably won't be able to get free even with your strength. If you chop it with the scythe, I mean, that'll probably work, but I'm not sure if we can fight this at all. Underwater, I'm not going to be of much use.
Give me an Arcana check as well.
20 plus stuff.
20.
26.
Oh my god, 26. Okay. You know that the reason they're called body taker plants with such a high roll is actually because whenever they consume a creature, they can spawn a replica of it using its sort of these pods on the outside to like spawn and create a creature, whatever it consumes. That's a near
like
perfect replica. Yeah.
Oh wow! So it's not even like a zombie. It's like actually kind of like almost
Yes, but under the
doppelganger.
command and control of the body taker plant.
Wow.
And so it can use these to try to lure in food, to try to extend its range and try to bring food to it. Lots of nastiness that it can do, but that is something you feel you'd have to be prepared for. You don't know what it's consumed and what it has under its command.
All right, I relay all of that. So yeah, essentially we have to be careful. It could have mind controlled literally anything. If we see a friendly centaur somewhere near the edge of the lake and it tells us to come for a swim, we probably shouldn't trust it. And likewise, we could get ambushed by other creatures even away from its tendrils as well. If it's had a long time here, it may have created a small band of followers. I think our best bet is to try and avoid it. Did you see where the path lay past it? Was there a way around?
So we could go above. It did react to the light of the sun stick thing. So what we could do is potentially, since we have two of them, we could use one as a distraction and then try to swim quickly along the top and not get caught and get to the other side.
Is it possible you simply woke it up with the light and then once it saw you, it started trying to grab you?
It's possible. I can swim very fast with this.
I will say, Call, although you can't determine whether or not the light is what woke it up or your presence, you feel very confident that it will continue to be awake when you come back.
Oh, it's definitely awake. Super not napping at all.
Ah. I was hoping we could perhaps sneak past. I'm not the strongest swimmer. I can swim all right. But, yeah, I mean, we really can't be fighting underwater, surely. Even in your swimming fish form here with your gills, I can't imagine that's going to work very well for you. A lifetime fighting on dry land isn't going to instantly translate.
We could give it a peace offering like the dead lizards. The corpses are back there. That's a lot of meat for them to deal with.
That's true. How will we know if it's accepted, though? Or simply toss them in and then swim past?
I'll possibly throw a wrench into this plan as well. The bodies of the lizards, you don't feel confident that you could squeeze them through the gaps.
Yeah.
With rigor mortis setting in, it was very difficult to move these
Giant lizards.
They're
yeah.
giant lizards, yeah. Maybe when they were alive, they could flatten themselves. They probably certainly could. But now that they don't have that ability anymore, they would be pretty tough to do it. You can maybe chop them up and stuff, but yeah.
Yeah, so we would have to swim a decent bit to get over that, and I don't see a way of going around it. There are air pockets where we could stop, take a breath, catch our breath, and so on, but you would need to get to the end very swiftly.
Yes. You seem to swim exceptionally fast. Perhaps you could also help by kind of pulling one of us along and then going back for the other as well, darting past it.
Oh, that's true. Could pull people one at a time with all the swiftness. I'm like this for the whole day, so...
And though it might sound strange, Nigel, just because I know you've mentioned it, you are able to cast your full range of spells while underwater. That doesn't affect anything.
Does Fireball work?
I would probably fire-based spells would at minimum dampen them, but they would still work. They would still cast.
Okay.
But I would maybe put some penalties on it since you're using it and it's literally anti that zone. But I'm not saying I wouldn't completely negate it.
I mean, most of my ways of doing damage are fire-based. I can obviously catapult still things underwater, but it's going to lose momentum. It won't be as effective as in atmosphere. And I've also got the ability to, poison spray. I need to be at point blank range. I'm not going up to a giant flower to poison it.
Sure.
But I can haste you, Carl. I only need concentration. I can hold that for up to a minute. That'll double your speed. You are already blitzing fast.
Whoa.
If I can put haste on you, you could ferry us back and forth very quickly, perhaps.
That sounds awesome.
Also gives you an extra attack.
Let's go.
That'll be handy for potentially chopping off any tendrils that try to wrap us up as we go.
True. I like this
If
plan.
they get a hold of us, we'll just need to quickly chop them off and then keep swimming, essentially. Basically, just be ready to stop, fight for a moment, and then quickly try and escape. I don't think we should stay there too long.
A sound plan.
Mendax, do you agree, or do you think you'd be able to fight underwater as well against the thing? Do you think you could be effective?
I think that a sneaky prick stabs underwater almost as well as it does above water, but I would much rather not be stabbing things with my sneaky prick or my rapier when it's that large and is spawning little clone babies of all of its victims. I'd think stealth and trying to get past it is the way to go. And if it's still awake, then maybe, I don't know, we throw one of the sun rods to the side or do an illusion of some other bigger, tastier morsel, more dangerous looking morsel while the rest of us try to get past. I think that's a better, yes, I think your plan is far better than fighting.
Yes, I'll definitely be spawning illusions. Problem, a lot of ambush-based plant-type creatures, mostly based off sense of touch. And in the water, you've got a very strong medium between everything. My illusions probably won't be able to trick it. I'll try, but at best, I'll probably confuse it ever so slightly.
Could you do like a large bird or some kind of winged illusion? That way it could just fly around and then tendrils will try to grab it, but it won't notice that it's not making ripples in the water.
I'll say for sure Nigel it can't see, so it goes purely off of touch. So if whatever you make doesn't actually create any movement or force, then it probably won't even know that it's there. It'll be blind to it, essentially.
I can make sound. Sound does create vibration, so I can try to confuse it a little and hopefully just make it harder to exactly track on where we are by just making booming sounds. So, yeah, I can basically create a metal concert in the water as we as we swim past. Some orcish metal music, should be good. All right. Goop can swim surprisingly well for a golem, of course. Ribbons, how about you?
He kind of just has little rudders that he flaps around. Ribbons, he kind of, well, I suppose I can, swim as well as anyone else.
Okay.
You don't get the sense that he's an athletic, Olympian level swimmer. He's a frail-looking little goblin guy. You don't imagine he can swim, and that's essentially what you get.
We should probably divvy up the things that we absolutely have to have in the waterproof bag and see how heavy that is. So if it won't get spoiled by water, we don't put it in the bag.
So we'll put that stuff in that bag, and then we'll take turns, and I will sprint you across with the haste when it's your turn. And Nigel will be concentrating this whole time.
Yeah, and I'll say for the sake of flow, you just anything that's perishable you guys put in there, and anything that you can just dry after without it being too substantially damaged, you keep. Fantastic. What is the plan? I have the general idea, but give me the details here. How are we proceeding forward? What's going on?
So, first things first, I'll be your diving instructor today. My name is Carl the Kenku Duckbarian, and I will be leading you through an underground maze network. Don't be scared, it will be very dark. Just hold on to my back leg, and I will be propelling you over to the end area. Now I need to take you one at a time. You will all follow me as a squad until we get up to the lake area. That's where the big nasty flower is. And once we get to the lake area with the big nasty flower, I will take you one at a time across with all haste. So you need to wait here. We will have one stick of light that will be with me, that is the moving party, and then one stick that will be the decoy whenever we arrive. We will throw it down to distract it, and then we will go across one at a time. Any questions?
Should the person being taken with you have the air bladder just in case, and then you can bring it back for the next person?
Sure.
Then we'll do that as well.
We will ferry the air bladder and the light as we go. Very good.
All right, so
Okay.
we'll all go in together. We'll just follow your lead until we get to this air pocket.
Yes.
Fantastic. Are you just lighting the one sun rod? You're keeping that one lit, Call? Is that what you're doing?
Yeah.
Okay. Sounds good. Well, what is the order in which you're swimming through the tunnels?
Well, I'll go first.
Yep.
I can go second. I'm fine with that.
Then Ribbons and I'll actually... Ribbons, Goop, and I'll come in the back.
Okay.
Okay.
Sounds good. You guys go in that exact order. Nigel, you are especially aware because you know that if you lose that light for even a moment, you are most certainly going to die. So you keep that in mind as you proceed forward. Each of you give me, well, everyone except for Neuro, except for Call, give me an athletics check.
18 plus 0 is an 18.
Okay. You got a 12, Nigel?
Yeah, 11 plus 1. But did you say 18 plus 0, Ash?
Yeah, I've got plus 0 on athletics. But
Damn!
I've got a plus 9 on acrobatics.
I was
so
about
if
to
we
say,
were
how can you be
diving
that
into something-
acrobatic
I
and
got-
not have any
Not
athletics?
athletic at all.
What do you
No
do? A quadruple
athleticism.
backflip and then you sit there puffing like a...
She has no cardio. She's a smoker.
Don't ask me to do cardio. I can't do cardio.
Ribbons rolled a 20, so good job to him. He will be swimming circles around everybody. You all rolled high enough to keep up with Call, who's not going the full speed. He's making sure, looking behind him, to ensure that you're all following. Call, you sort of move your way through the tunnel, but you each take in turn a very deep breath and hold your breath as you go down and swim through. It takes you probably a solid minute and a half of swimming. So you can hold your breath for quite a long time, but as you're exerting yourself and swimming, a little bit of panic maybe setting in. It does feel like you're sort of at your last breath until you reach out and you're now in this large pool. You know you've come to the right location. Mendax and Nigel, or rather all of you, head to the surface. And you see it's just as Call described. It's maybe 4 inches of like a pocket of air. So you can keep your face lifted above there as best you can. And you realize that's the only way you can also communicate, since you can't speak underwater. So that is the best way that you guys can talk. Call, as you weren't struggling or needing to go to the surface very quickly, give me a perception check as you guys make it out into the pool.
16 plus 6 is 22.
22. Though you can't make out the details, you do see that there is something hanging in sort of the center where the flower was on the ground. You see that there's some object or objects that are now in the center of the water of the area where you were swimming before. Towards the middle of this cavern, there's something now in the middle. You can't make out the details without getting closer, which you can do if you want.
Whoa. I think I will get closer. I can swim pretty fast, so I'll take a look.
Okay. As Nigel and Mendax and Ribbons are swimming their way up, you swim forward maybe 20, 30 feet or so. Again, you're very quick. And you can see, you stop as soon as you can see sort of the outer edge of whatever this is. And you see that the tendrils, the sort of tentacles that this flower, this body taker plant, as you now understand it's called, have fully lifted off, and they're just sort of hanging, almost like upstretched arms from the bottom of the water. It looks like they extend up to about 5 feet below the surface, so they're extended probably 35 feet in the water total. Give me one more perception check. Let's see if you can make out any more details here.
9 plus 6 is 15.
Okay, that is all you see at this point. But you can see that it is a very narrow gap between the top of the water and the top of one of these tendrils. You can see from where you are, this outer edge, you see about 3 tendrils that are there. You don't know the total number unless you swim forward even closer, and you can see more towards the center and the back of this plant area. But you know at least 3, and you figure more.
I wonder... I'm just going to go back to Nigel and ask him a question about this.
Okay. You swim your way back, and you put your beak above the water, and you kind of crane your head to the sides so that you can fit and see. And you see Nigel and Mendax are there, and they're catching their breath and resting a moment.
Nigel, I have a question. So about this big flower thingy, when the tendrils are detached, does it, like, notice if I chop one in half?
They're attached, sorry. If I made it seem like they were detached, they're not. They're raising up from the plant all the way up 35 feet into the air.
Oh.
Into the water.
Just got a lot of stiffies. Yeah.
Yeah, you got it.
All right. So there are some of the tendrils that are reaching up near the ceiling, so it's a very short clearance. We've got a couple options. I can either swim around them as we take people one at a time. You would need to hold your breath the whole time if we do this method, and then we'll just throw you out on the other side. Or I can go through and try to chop these ahead of time to clear the way, and then we go. The issue is, I don't know if it's going to piss it off and it's going to do some new ability.
I think it'll almost certainly react based on movement. So, yeah, I think either way we're gonna try and distract it. I will play as much sound. I will create an illusion of the sound of an army marching into battle, cavalry charging down a mountainside. The sounds of drums and chaos and children crying and whatever other madness that can hopefully throw off its sense of where exactly we are in the water. I can do that the whole time while we do it, but I'm not sure how effective it'll be. I believe so you said we can go around. Do you mean, is there just above the tendrils? Do they reach to the surface of the water?
They reach almost to the surface. We could maybe sneak without touching them, but it would be very close if we snuck between the ceiling and the top of the tendrils.
But there feels like there's a gap around the side of the cavern where they're not currently at.
Yeah, they're not occupying the whole cavern. We could go around.
They are. I will interject a little bit. They are spread out. You're right. There is a gap. There's maybe 10 feet on each side where they're not actively touching. I mean, these things aren't like huge, but if you think of them like there's like one raised up through the center and 2 that are kind of reaching out. It's definitely trying to cover the most area that it can. But you are right. There is maybe a 10-foot gap on either side that you could try to, if you swim underneath the water, you could try to swim around the side.
Okay, I mean, that sounds like the right idea. Try to find an opening and just get through. Who should we send across first?
Maybe if we send you, then you can focus on your concentration for the haste and for the illusion.
I think that could work. Yeah, if get him over there, and yeah, once he's out of danger, he can hopefully keep the rest of us out of it as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can create the illusion for a full minute at a time. Doesn't really take any concentration or anything, but the haste definitely I'll need to maintain my focus for. How long do you think it'll take to get there and back?
Not too long if I'm hasted. I swim super fast in this aquatic form. I have duck
With one of
powers.
us encumbering you, though?
I might be a bit slower.
Okay. I can, we could try to swim past without haste first, and then I could haste you on the way back, or I could do it right from the start. Your call.
How long does haste last?
1 minute. And we have to be careful. When haste wears off, you will be very lethargic and have to take a moment to recover. So you'll need to time out the end of that minute to be in a safe area. Otherwise, it will probably get a hold of you while you're recovering.
Then let's get you across first and then catch the haste after.
I will say this much. With your nature checks that you made and with your arcana check, Nigel, you know for sure it will be able to perceive you guys when you move by. So essentially, you're just trying to outpace it if you're going to try and go past it.
Right.
Which might be the way to go, but you're certainly not going to sneak past it.
Yeah,
It will
we're
know
definitely not
100%
sneaking.
where you are. Okay, just making sure I'm on the same page.
Um,
Alrighty.
Yeah. We may need to disengage a few times to chop and that sort of stuff. Now, if it does really get a hold of us, because I don't have any real life combat experience with one of these, Carl, we may need to straight up fight it. Is there a way we can signal for Mendax and Ribbons to simply join us in battle? Because otherwise, if we're incapacitated by the time they come to help, we're screwed.
We could give you the second flare, the second sunrod, and if we see the second sunrod light,
Yeah.
I like that. We can see it.
Cool.
All right.
Simple,
All right.
effective. I like it. I
Oh,
can't wait for you to fail a dexterity save and accidentally hit it on the wall. That'd be great.
I'm gonna make sure I have some sharp rocks, by the way, for catapult,
Okay.
just in case stuff hits the
Sure.
fan, because you're gonna
Absolutely.
need it to be able to cut.
No, I love this
underwater.
planning. This is great.
All right, meticulous wizard must be ready. I will get one shot by just about anything. So, all right.
Okay.
Should we try it without the haste to start, Carl?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
So you are grabbing Nigel and swimming around the side, like duck call is certainly dragging one person will slow you down, and you know that. But you'll still be much faster than if you were to just swim on your own. Do I have the plan right? Everybody good?
Yes. We have
Okay.
a sound illusion. We have the fairy method, one person at a time. We have the backup plan of dropping the second flare in case there's a problem. And good luck.
Okay.
Only small potential problem.
Only small.
If it does have any doppelgangers that it's got that are already out of the water on the other side, it might not be the Hail Mary safe space that we're expecting it to be. And if you're dropping me off into the den of even a mediocre bandit that gets a knife in my ribs, I'm dead.
If there are enemies over there on the other side, I'll just go back in the water and you could just fireball the area. It's fine.
That's true. That is true. I do have more fireballs in the bank, so fair enough. I will unleash my fireball willy-nilly. I've actually got a few scrolls as well I can use if I have to.
Now, don't unleash your
Fair
willy.
enough. I will. I mean, I don't know when the next chance will be
Whatever it
after the wood
takes.
carving's gone, but we'll find an opportunity. We'll get through this.
All right, I think we're ready.
He's open for anything at this point. He's lost his only outlet.
Trying to keep an open mind.
Okay. Sounds good. All right. What do you do? Give me the sign. Give me the signal.
So basically, I think it would be best if you're holding on to my waist, and then I can swim normally, and you just hang on, because it's going to
Okay,
be
sounds
way
good.
faster than a normal person would swim, unless you're a duck.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
All right. I've got you
Which
firmly
side
by
are you
the waist.
swimming on?
Swimming on the right
Left or
side
right?
first.
Okay. You begin your approach to the plant. As you get now closer than you were before, you see that there are other tendrils in the water as well. You saw the outer side of it. Towards the middle, there seems to be another 4. And then towards the other side, there's another 3. So it looks like there's 10 tendrils in total.
Tendrils.
As you begin to swim closer, these tendrils begin to shift. Not super quickly, but certainly shift over to the pathway that you guys are taking. By the time that you reach sort of the edge, we'll say, of this plant, Nigel, you can see it's clear water, so it doesn't sting your eyes too Or sorry, it's not salt water, I should say. So it doesn't sting your eyes to open or anything. Your eyes underwater. And through the hazy muck, you can kind of see this plant that is down there, and these tendrils that are rising up, almost like buoys or ropes that are going. Yeah. So these tentacles begin to shift towards the side, and by the time you get there, they are in your way. They're not like forming a wall, but you will have to dodge and sort of weave your way through if you want to try to get through. There's again that like 5-foot gap towards the top of the water. You could try to run through. Up to you.
I enhance my bloody enchantment, my illusion. By the way, in case I haven't cast that yet, basically it's just propelling as much sound as possible from the center of the water right above it, since we're trying to go around the edge.
Absolutely.
And, I don't know if it has any effect, but just as a bonus.
It unfortunately has, from what you can tell, no effect on the plant. It doesn't look like it does anything based on sound.
Damn.
How would you like to proceed? Are you trying to swim through it?
I can't communicate, so it's purely through.
Yeah, it's all up to call. You're holding your breath. You have the air bladder, I think you guys said. So you do have some breath. You can probably last under the water for about 5 minutes or so with this. But then after that, you will need to refill it and get some oxygen for yourself. So it's only been maybe 20 seconds or so. Call? Quick thinking.
I think we could maybe try to swim through if we do it zigzag, because it's going like this, but if I go like, you know, like,
Yeah, I like it.
I'm gonna do a quick zigzag. When it thinks I'm gonna go around, I'm just go to the left.
Okay. It's like swimming through a minefield, if you will.
Yeah.
Trapped to chains to the bottom of the ocean. I love it. You proceed forward, undeterred, courageous. Nigel, you're almost praying he would have stopped, but as you feel him propelling forward, you know what's happening next. As you tighten your grip on Call's waist, and he proceeds to try to swim through the tendrils and around them. The tendrils certainly detect your presence, Call, and you are now required to dodge your way through. Give me at first 3 dexterity checks as the first 3 tentacles try to now with greater speed come at you and wrap their sort of sticky, slimy membrane around your leg and drag you down to the depths below.
Quick bird, swift bird, swimming bird. Advantage on dexterity saves of things I can see. 3 of them.
Yep, you can see it.
The first one is a 3 plus a 3 is 6. Second roll is 18 plus 3 is 21. Second dexterity save, 17 plus 3 is 20. 10 plus 3 is 13, so 20 was the higher. Third dexterity save, 18 plus 3 is 21. 12 plus 3 is 15.
Okay, so give me your highest numbers for each of the rolls. I think it was 20-something, 13, and 20-something.
Yeah, 20 was the second
Okay.
one. Yeah.
So what were your total rolls then? How about that? Give me your 3 rolls. Do you remember them?
Should have written those down.
Probably. I thought 20 was your first roll, and I swear I heard a 13. A 6 and a 13 on your second one, but I could be wrong.
Is it in the clip? Twitch chat, help us. Quick, check the VOD.
Quick, check the VOD.
Like the second, I think it was a 20-something, a 13, and a 20-something, though. It was like 21, 13.
Okay.
21,
I could be
20,
wrong.
21 is what
Jeez.
chat says.
Oh, okay.
Okay, fantastic. You are able to weave your way through the first set of tentacles as they all sort of in unison swoosh towards you. You duck and weave, and sort of with this finesse, are able to duck out of the way and swim sharply down and then back up again to dodge out of the way of all 3 of them. The next 4 tentacles start to come at you as you're now in the center of this creature. Go ahead and give me 4 dexterity saves.
Okay, I'm gonna write these down
And write
one at a
them-
time.
Yeah,
First.
I just need the highest of each of them, right? Because you do have advantage on them.
Yeah.
Everyone thinks they're the main
Okay.
bird within their own hentai.
21 is the first one. I
Okay.
am the main bird. 7 plus 3 is 10. 8 plus 3 is 11, so 11 was the highest. Okay. Third tendril. 6 plus 3 is 9. 10 plus 3 is 13. Alright. Fourth tendril. 7 plus 3 is 10. 18 plus 3 is 21. So it's 21, 11, 13, and 21.
Okay. It is becoming too difficult for you to narrowly escape and swim your way through as you duck out of the way of the first one. The next two tentacles latch on, one onto one of your arms, the other one onto one of your legs. And you feel this sticky membrane sort of wrap around your wrist and your ankle. The fourth one swings kind of wildly as if it was trying to hit another location that you may go for, as if it's trying to anticipate your movements. But you are now grabbed by this thing. Your right arm and your left ankle have been grabbed and are starting to now pull you down towards this plant. It now picks up pace as the tentacles were kind of lazing, almost jellyfish-like before. It now looks like it's pulling as if reeling something back in. You're now kind of sucked down into the water a solid 10 feet from where you were before. You're now maybe 20 feet down into this water. Nigel, you barely hold on to Call as you see him get quickly grabbed by these tendrils, and you're sucked down into the water. And I think that's a really great spot to end it for today's campaign. Until we meet again, we'll just have to wait there as Call has been grabbed and nabbed by the Body Taker plant.
You do realize that the last ending of these 2 episodes has been me in a very bad spot.
Let's try to not make it too much of a habit. But wonderful to play with you all once again. So happy that we could come back and play some more D&D. One of my favorite episodes. I say that every time, but truly, this was a super fun one, guys. Thank you.
Thanks
Freaking
all everyone
awesome,
for
man.
watching, and people from Pig Subathon, thanks for tuning in as well. And to the dogs watching too. We appreciate you.
Stop fighting over the bold penis. There's plenty to go around.
Just fighting over dick.
We've been going
I
through.
tell them it's abundant and low in value, but they don't believe me.
For those who don't know, Wayfarers is normally hosted Thursday evenings at 9 p.m. Pacific time. We've been offline for a bit, going through a job change and a move and so on, but follow the playlist here at the Wayfarers command. It's all available on YouTube. And ladies and gentlemen, remember, be careful of what's in underground ponds. It could be more dangerous than you know. And we will see you all on the next episode of Wayfarers.
Bye.
Stay strong.
Bye, guys.
Hi.